Hi, this is Katie Burns, and up next is the 65-year anniversary video for Burns Farms. We are so happy to celebrate here in our town of Pikeville, Tennessee. You're going to hear from some of our very special friends and customers over the years, sharing memories and just good times that they've had here on Burns Farms. I did a special post on our Facebook page, Burns Farms, and I asked people to comment on, what they remember about our farm. And I got some really special answers that I'd just like to share a few with you before we move on to hear from some of our friends on sale day. So first, this is Caleb Ballou, and he is the manager at Copper Creek Farms. And he said, no question that we would not be where we are today without David Burns and the whole Burns crew. David has helped us build the foundation of our herd. They bought a really fantastic bull named Richie, and he's been used quite a bit. Also, Casey Kinder, she's not a local, but she's a longtime friend. And she says, I was that polled girl who David let into his horned friend group way before it was cool. For those of you that don't know, there can be polled people and there can be horned people, and there are just a lot of preferences, but here at Burns Farms we try and satisfy both of those favorites that we have between polled and horned. Ruth Burton, who you guys know I've had on the show a couple of times, she is our neighbor, Burns Farms neighbor, and she writes that Burns Farms has had a great heritage. We're happy to know we're working on the 4th generation of Burton and Burns families as farming neighbors. I mean, how often do you have that? It's just really, really special. Karen Wheeler writes, when I was a newcomer to the Valley, I was invited to the Burtons' home. I remember looking at cattle grazing in the pastures and thinking, these cows are straight out of my childhood storybook. They were spectacular in every way. Shortly thereafter, Ruth explained that I was gazing upon a special herd, the Burns Herefords. Now when I see cows, I measure them to the cattle grazing on the hills along Old Highway 127. Ironically, what I have learned is that this is the best to leave your measuring stick at home when you travel out of the valley, because cattle don't grow the same outside of Bledsoe County. We'd love for everyone to think that way, and thank you so much, all of you, for sharing over 50 comments on Facebook about your memories. Oh, thank you for taking time to watch and help us celebrate 65 years in the registered Hereford business.
Hello and welcome to our sale. We've been in the Hereford business for 65 years. Who would have known 65 years ago when we bought 2 Hereford heifers that we'd be here where we are today selling these great females and bulls. And we're especially glad and thankful and blessed that this is a family event. And I'm glad my daughter Sarah Burns Bernard is here with me to celebrate it as well.
Welcome to Burns Farms. Thank you for coming.
I want to thank all of my family, my sister, my father, my brother Joe Dana is here at this sale. I don't know, he's made it in. We've got the full allotment of Burnses here for this sale, and Bernards, I guess, as well. And want to definitely thank my wife, who's now streaming me on Facebook. She does all of our social media and a lot of our pictures, and does a wonderful job.
My name is Nolan Bernard. Okay, my favorite memory was when I was like 4. I was like climbing the gates in the back, and then my dad said, do you want to work in the back with the sale? And I said, yeah, sure. And that was the most fun time and it was the first time I ever interacted with cows.
Hi, this is Andy Paquette, my daughter Elizabeth Paquette. We're just going to talk about a few memories that we have. The first memory is how I met David. David came to Illinois, and I met him at a fellow breeder sale, and I got a card from him, and we've been coming down here for 5 years now. So it was a great day that day. So we've bought a lot of cattle from the Burnses, and they've done really well for us. So we have a lot of great memories. The favorite memory I have for here is I took my kids fishing, and we caught 4 snakes that day. So we had a really good time. So go ahead, Elizabeth.
That was my favorite part too.
Uh-oh. I ruined it for you.
I know, right? No, I came here on and off for all the 5 years, but my favorite part is when I'm sitting up there, he'll tap my leg every time we go to bed, and I'll just raise my hand.
Oh, you can't let the secrets out. You can't let the secrets. Now let's see you tap your leg.
To be like, oh no. So.
Hi guys, I'm here with my nieces. One is visiting from Kentucky. This is Sarah Beth. And these two, they're actually twins. They live up on Signal Mountain, and they're here at the farm a lot. And this is Lily, and this is Caroline. And so they're going to tell you their favorite memories here at Burns Farms. Who wants to start?
Caroline, you want to? Lily.
Lily, go. Okay. You can do it.
My favorite memory is one time when I made a playground out of old spare parts of things that we used at the farm.
Where'd you do that?
We did that behind the hay bales.
What? That's fun. You guys always had a big time playing on the hay bales. Every sale. Really? Only one size. Okay, so what about you, Caroline?
My favorite memory of Burns Farms is when we climbed to the top of all the hay bales and we ran across them.
Always a good time here at Burns Farms, even climbing on hay bales. Sarah Beth?
My favorite memory of Burns Farm is when we climbed to the top of the hay bales and we brought all these beads up and we made bracelets.
Oh, that was fun.
And it was awesome.
Now what about four-wheeling?
Four-wheeling's really fun too.
Side by side?
One time when I was four-wheeling,
Yeah.
I just kept on driving in circles and circles, and Karen was telling me to stop, but I didn't stop.
And what about the mountain farm?
Mountain Farm, I really like that. One time we hiked up there and we found the skull of a bull's head.
Oh, that was awesome. I still have that in my yard.
Didn't I kick a tooth out of it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I have it in my yard right now.
Okay, now, what is your favorite thing about a Hereford?
I think that they're the prettiest cat there is.
Me too. Good one. What about their personality?
They're kind.
They are very
They
calm.
don't
They're loud
really-
too. They're loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank
But it's
you.
good.
Anything else you want to share?
No.
Okay. Thanks.
So, memories of Burns Farm. Why are we here? Well, first of all, this is Joe and Amy Burns. We currently reside in Louisville, Kentucky, with our family, our 2 kids, 14 and 11, almost 12. But really, it's. I guess we notice it more now with the kids than ever. How proud we are of the heritage of this farm, what it's meant to the family. My first memory it's a funny story really. My first memory is really not of animals or cows or pigs or anything. It was from my grandfather, Papa Burns, who lived on this farm, but he was also the head of the Bledsoe County Co-op, phone co-op that is. And so my first memories are actually driving up and down this country road past all these bulls and going to the office with Papa Burns. And on the way there and on the way back, he had what's called a car phone. And I swear to you, it was the first car phone in the state of Tennessee. There's no way there was somebody else in the state that had a car phone. I'd never heard of it, no one else had. And I would always call my grandmother on the way back, which by the way, it's like a 3-minute drive. I would call the farmhouse to let Granny know that we were on our way home from the office. And of course, once we get home, then we'd pile in the back of the pickup truck and we'd go out and feed the cattle and things like that. But interestingly enough, I'm now actually in the cellular phone business. So I don't know if that really, I never put 2 and 2 together, but my experience on the farm led me to the telephone business, and I'm following in my grandfather's footsteps in the wireless phone business now. I sell phones for Verizon. So that's kind of a funny story. Other than that, I know Amy and I, when we met in college in Knoxville, about an hour and a half away, and we came here a couple times when we were dating, and we would camp out on the mountain farm, which is a really important place to my grandfather, kind of oversees this beautiful valley. And we went camping there a few times. And then after, probably to this day, maybe one of our best memories for our anniversaries is our very first anniversary, when we had 2 wooden nickels to rub together. I mean, nothing. But we saved up and we bought 2 fancy steaks and a bottle of red wine, and we went up to the mountain farm overlooking this valley, and we cooked those steaks literally over an open campfire. And that was a beautiful, beautiful first anniversary.
Yeah.
So there's been great times here at this farm and what it means to our family. It's a great source of pride for me to know that my brother, especially, how involved he is. He runs this place. He is a professional cowman, and a big source of pride for me and all of us in the family. And then to know my sister also is sort of helping him with the farm, helping running it in the administration of it. We look at it from afar, but we're very, very proud of it, and we'll always hopefully be part of this place.
It was, the first time that I came to the farm, we camped at the quarry, which people don't do that anymore. And
they called it the rock crusher back in those days.
Yeah. So I grew up with my mom's family had a tobacco farm outside of Nashville. So I'd been around farms, but I'd really never been around a cattle farm very much. So that first time that I came, I was like, oh wow, this place is beautiful. And then, like he said, that memory of our first anniversary when we really were so poor, because I was in graduate school, he was just starting out, and so we came here, and we've been married 21 years now, so a long time ago. But we love every visit we get to spend when we're here, we bring the kids, visit with all the family, and we're so proud of the 65 years that Burns Farm has been in the Hereford business.
Hi folks, this is Bobby Singleton reporting live from the 2017 Burns Spring Sale, and want to congratulate the Burns family for 65 years in the Hereford business. Wonderful years. I have known Dr. Burns for more than 30 years, and David since he was just a little child. My first recollection of Dr. Burns, we met on an airplane coming back from Denver. Had a wonderful conversation, and without a doubt, Dr. Burns and Mrs. Burns are 2 of the best human beings that I have ever had the pleasure to encounter. My favorite recollection of David, and he would agree, I took him to the Kentucky State Fair when he was 13, and I worked him to flat death too. I thought this child will never ever want to see a cow again the rest of his life. But after sleeping on the way to the airport, and sleeping I'm sure on the plane all the way when they picked him up, and possibly sleeping for 2 more days after he got back, he certainly fell in love with the cattle business, and is just like a child to me too. I'm extremely proud of how he has progressed in life, not just in the Hereford business, but they're my favorite family of all time. So congrats again, looking for 65 more, and I'm hoping to still be around in 65 years.
My name is Hillis Burns, and I am Philip Burns' grandson, and this is my cousin Lily.
My favorite memory of Burns Farms is coming to the sales and hanging out with family.
The best part about coming to the sale is probably spending time with the whole family and just seeing everyone in a big group together.
Hi, I'm George Hamilton. I'm a native of Bledsoe County. I've known the Burns all my life. Just want to say congratulations to the Burns Farm, having these great Hereford cattle. We've partnered with them on cows and watched them develop this herd. Philip's a real cowboy, a great doctor, raised a great family, came from a great family. And all I want to do is say congratulations to the Burns. Whoop-ho!
Hi. Now, introduce yourselves to the local friends. I'm Carol Kelly.
And I'm Tracy Durham.
And how do you know these people?
Well, I was Dr. Burns' nurse for 20 years.
And I taught Sarah at GPS, and I tailgate with Gayanne.
Now, how did you end up working here from the very beginning at each sale for free, year after year?
Well, I remember the first sale very well. The very first sale, I believe David broke his tib fib in September. Dr. Burns broke his ankle in October, and the first sale was the first weekend of November. And so I just remember all of everybody working together to kind of make it happen. They were both on crutches the first sale, and it was great.
Had you ever been to a cattle sale?
No.
Never.
You don't have a history in cattle?
No.
Never. That would be an all duties, extra duties assigned as a nurse.
And you keep coming back.
We love it. I am a teacher, and I taught one of their daughter at GPS, and Gayanne said, "Come, you ought to come one time. It's fun. You ought to come. It's fun." So I did. And then the next time, they're like, "And now you're going to work." And I wouldn't miss it. It's on my calendar every year.
Well, you guys have meant so much to the family over the years, and I came in a little bit later. You were here before I came in. You were very welcoming to me, and I appreciate everything that you guys have done for us.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Growing up here in Bledsoe County, Burns Farm is a staple. The family is so amazing, very professional, down to earth. Everyone in the community absolutely loves them. Being a part of the farm, coming and either fishing in the pond or hanging out at the sale and looking at the cows and being with everybody who is involved in the cattle community. It's just a great experience, and thank you for having us. Asher loves it.
I love it.
Thank you.
Happy anniversary, Burns Farms.
It has been a special opportunity for me to marry into this legacy, this farming tradition, this cattle way of life. And I'm just honored to share with you a little glimpse of our sale day, which is 3 times a year, the biggest events that we have, and work so hard to bring just the best cattle possible. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon.